Yeah, we suck right now. The culture is actually like, I'm just praying for the Lord to deliver me from the pick sixes.
As the new NFL season officially begins with the start of free agency, there are unfortunately some things we must go over. New rules. As with most things the league has done, it's allegedly meant to improve the game, but some of them have led to more controversy than not. One of these changes that totally won't cause this is the banning of the hip drop tackle. Any infraction called by officials will now be 15 yards and an automatic first down. Another judgment call penalty and a league plagued by them. Oh, wonderful. The replay booth can now review instances of roughing the passer and intentional grounding. But knowing how well the pass interference reviews went, my hopes aren't high. What could be ironically useful are the new kickoff rules. They had to do something about them. The kickoff had been relegated to nothing but touchbacks for the most part. If you watch the XFL this past year, there'll be a slightly modified version of them. The kicker kicks off at his 35-yard line, and the kickoff special teams line up at the opposing 40. All but two players on the return team line up at the 35-yard line, not to move until the ball is received by a returner. The goal for the kicking team is to hit it in the landing zone, between the 20 and the goal line. If a ball lands or goes out of the end zone for a touchback, the ball is spotted at the 30-yard line. If it goes out of bounds, it's spotted at the 40 like it was before. Onside kicks also must be declared, thus eliminating surprise onside kicks. We'll definitely be complaining about these things in the future, but their newest gift to us comes with 2 games on Christmas. Wednesday football is back after a 4-year hiatus. The NBA is seething in the corner. We all know Atlanta's main issues last season. Shitty coaching and shitty quarterback play. They've hopefully solved the first thing by telling Arthur Smith to fuck off, but under center, the time has come to go big. Desmond Ridder is fucking ass. And he can go be ass in Arizona for all I care. For the Falcons to take the next step, they need the best on the market. That they got in Kirk Cousins. They won the sweepstakes for him, but it came at an unbelievable price. 4 years and $100 million guaranteed for a 36-year-old coming off a torn Achilles? The only thing not at risk is Kirk's bank account. Some may be generational throwers or runners or field generals, but Cousins is a generational bag securer. Incredible wealth for an age and a half. Darnell Mooney didn't get a generational bag, but a solid one, especially for how inconsistent he was in Chicago. May he hopefully regain his rookie form here, and may Cousins continue to count the money.
The Atlanta Falcons select Michael Penix Jr.
Well, there it is.
Quarterback, Washington.
Really? Are you fucking serious, Atlanta? You have desperate needs at edge rusher. Dallas Turner and Laiatu Latu were sitting right there for the taking, yet you pick Michael Penix? Don't get me wrong, I like Penix as a player, but to the Falcons? Did they conveniently forget that Kirk Cousins just inked a contract worth 9 figures guaranteed? When you apparently tampered so badly the NFL's gonna lay the hammer down? This pick legitimately had my jaw drop to the fucking floor. I get it, Jordan Love and the Packers model. He was 20 when drafted. Penix is 24 with a lengthy injury history. While not alerting Cousins that you'd be selecting his heir apparent this high? What the fuck are you doing down there? Terry Fontenot's putting his job on the line with this move. And if he fails, he'll go down as a fucking idiot. There's bold and then there's an Evel Knievel jump. This is the latter. In celebration of Arthur Smith's ouster, Atlantans burned down every FedEx within a 50-mile radius. With how their offense was unbelievably butchered last season, I don't blame them. All that talent and pedigree at the skill positions undone because Jonnu Smith and Mac Hollins needed their reps. Whatever, he's Pittsburgh's problem now. This calls for overhauling a quarterback. Welcome Kirk Cousins to the land that God apparently forgot. Coming off a torn Achilles and nearly cost them a lot in terms of tampering, but it's still a significant upgrade over. Ugh. Matthew Judon's also here after suffering a season-ending injury early last year, therefore giving a potential answer to the edge rusher question that's long been sought down here. Justin Simmons is here for the secondary too, so even better. But times are getting impatient in Falcon land. Consistent results need to be shown come hell or high water. 28-3 was almost a decade ago now. You have to start healing from those scars eventually. No, I still don't get why they drafted Michael Penix that high. Stop asking. As you can tell, things are a bit less linear than in the past. New suitors are eager to stake the claim from the usual suspects. Yet the ones at the top will only relinquish such honor from their cold, lifeless hands. I think this year is a little of both. The NFC East has always been a conference that changes hands every year, so the Eagles will reclaim it for themselves. As for the NFC North, different story. I say Detroit reclaims it, but a few teams are hot on their tail. The NFC South, the conference we wish could be a race, goes to Atlanta simply by no Arthur Smith. And the NFC West, barring horrific injury, will be San Francisco's to lose yet again. Wildcards are a much trickier guess. Yet I believe that Green Bay, Dallas, and Chicago take them. There are more than a few teams that I consider for these three spots, so I'm not dismissing them at all. But the NFC's just weird like that. It'll probably be wonkier than I expect. The Atlanta Falcons. Brand new coaching staff. Brand new quarterback room. Elite weapons all over the offense. Same old shit year in, year out. It's impressive to take a modest type and slowly suffocate it until all oxygen is wiped without a trace. Pittsburgh is 90% TJ Watt and Chris Boswell, for fuck's sake. The Steelers didn't score a single touchdown and they still won. How'd they do it? Look to Cousins. Kirk, if you're gonna be a generational bag securer, at least pretend to play well before you grift. No answers for that defense whatsoever. That second half of his was especially brutal. A group whose most targeted wideout was Ray McLeod. I know Arthur Smith was in attendance, but you're not supposed to pay homage. Self-destruction on a team-wide scale as the Steelers simply wait for them to make mistakes. And the Falcons definitely did. A disastrous throw into double coverage for a pick. That's the Atlanta way. When will I ever stop drinking the Kool-Aid? Probably when the Steelers stop controlling the AFC North. Just as we all predicted. The real first home game for the Eagles. Not that god-awful Brazilian shit like last week, but some red, white, and blue-blooded motherfucking football. This is pigskin in the raw, slathering it all over your body naked and covered in oil. It's not pretty, it's not attractive, and it's certainly not watchable, but when Philly wants blood, they'll squeeze every last drop of it out of their opponents. Ignore C.J. Gardner-Johnson insulting Kobe's legacy, that's unimportant. What is the fact that the Eagles will crush, maul, maim, and tush-push their way to wins. Fighting and clawing for every inch of football field. There will be no mercy to those that stand in their way. As the crowd cheers this turnover on downs, the life force is being sucked out of a failed franchise. Sorry, Falcons, but the only reward for your overhaul is the same old shit as before. Only a brick wall could stop you. Its name is the... Saquon dropped it. One of the best running backs in the game dropped a dump-off pass. A catch that would have sealed the win, and his Giants' ways emerged. A seventh grader could have made this catch. Of course that happens and prevents a quick segment. Of course it does. I don't need to do anything else. Philly kicks a field goal to go up by 6, but we now have to go back to when Nick Sirianni got greedy and didn't take the fucking points in the first quarter. This is why they matter, kids. Because if they played it safe, they're up by 2 scores. Now we get past sins coming back to haunt them. Who am I kidding? This is Atlanta. They aren't gonna collapse. Monday night Kirk Cousins was a meme back in the day. The Eagles surely won't cocoon into soft zone prevent defense and allow the Falcons endless tracks of yardage until this... Oh. Vic Fangio's in charge of this D. That's his kryptonite. Wait, someone do a memory flush. Oh no, they're not gonna have time to reboot.
Cousins looks right, has a man! Touchdown, Drake London!
Wow. It's like millions screamed out in horror before drowning in cheese whiz. The avian flu spread from falcon to eagle, and its major symptom is choking. Philly literally pulled in Atlanta. One of the finest falconings we've seen since days of Quinn. An easy win ripped from their hands out of hubris at the final moment. I figured Baltimore or Dallas was the biggest embarrassment this week, but man, did Monday night save the best for last. This calls for a special honor. Couple lol cow of the week. Congratulations, Philly, you've learned abso-fucking nothing after last year's collapse. It couldn't have happened to a better fuckwit in charge of the team. What's that, Nick? You're throwing Jalen under the bus when he did nothing wrong? Bitch, you made the goddamn sandwich! You should be pumping gas at Sunoco and Camden, you fucking clown. Don't give me this shit when you fail at the basics of your job. This team's incompetence just bailed out Atlanta's season. They gave Dallas fans a bailout for their shitty performance. It's allegedly a home game for Atlanta, but Chick-fil-A's closed on Sunday, so there's no reason for locals to come. Enough red in the stands to assume the Bulldogs were playing tonight. Good news for those in attendance, we have ourselves another fight. Atlanta's been playing tight football at the very least. The shocking upset this past week, they're looking to do it again here. Kansas City's been surviving off bullshit and flukes. Take a wild guess that it's happening in Atlanta, and you'd be correct. Falcons can't push through and take a sizable lead. The Chiefs' defense doing their thing and Harrison Butker being automatic, they'll retake the lead with not just that, but a drive that flashes the ability that makes them great. Welcome to Patrick's world. It's full of ketchup on steak. But the good news for the Falcons is they've got fight in them. And Younghoe Koo is a damn good kicker to put them down by 5. Atlanta forces a 3-and-out. The chance has come to make a statement. On their next drive, they'll eat all the clock they can. They will push down the field, finally breaking the stout defense. They'll get down to the red zone. And the Deus Ex Machina will continue on by not calling blatant pass interference against the Chiefs. You say you didn't see it, refs? It's okay, we already know you've been bought off. It should have stopped there, but Atlanta fell victim to sunken cost fallacy and didn't take the points. They failed. Turnover on downs. The thing is, their defense did its job. They cut KC down on a 3-and-out. The chance was there to do what needed to be done. They're getting makeup call after makeup call in their favor. Drive the dagger into them? The Falcons will do that to themselves. Why are you Falcons? Every chance to win the game, yet you allow the Chiefs to escape. Just like every other victory Kansas City has had all year. They're Teflon, nothing sticks to them. They play offensively uninspired, doesn't matter when the gods of fate are on their side every week. And we know KC will get white hot in January as always. Hey, something has to make up for Travis Kelce not getting the ball. Rivalry that only the South respects. Falcons and Saints eager to get back to their winning ways. Two stubborn foes that refuse to budge for the other. In the painful sense. There's a reason why I'm not hot in New Orleans. There are at least 3 or 4 games a year the Saints piss away by unforced errors, derps, fuck-ups, or hypothetical acts of God. Guess what happened? Muffed puns to offer a tasty New Orleans treat to all of Georgia. Derek Carr reminding Saints fans why they all hated his guts last season. With a deflected pass right to the hands of an opportunistic pick 6. It's another brutally aggravating performance harkening to days of 2023. New Orleans has all but shut down the Falcons' offense. And they're doing it without Demario Davis as their field general. They are the better team, but they keep getting in their own way. Even with the lead in reach, they practice restraint and choose not to take it. It doesn't matter the situation or scenario. If it's a 3-and-out or a failed 4th-down conversion in the red zone, the Saints will march to their doom. Yet there's a beacon of light. Chris Olave is a beast, and momentum is finally turning their way. The Saints do it. They score a critical touchdown to take the lead. Up by 1, all they need is a defensive stop. Yet what's the final concoction? Pass interference on the defense. Gotta allow the receiver to catch the ball. Sorry, Adebo. That's the dagger assassinating this Saint. Here come the Falcons to steal away another game. And they embrace it.
Younghoe Koo from 58. It is good.
Put some respect on the damn name. Atlanta Legends legend Younghoe Koo. Driving a 58-yard kill shot to upend a team shooting themselves in the foot. New Orleans keeps getting opportunities to emerge into the elite, yet they keep failing without fail. The line doesn't make sense? Well, neither does New Orleans. NFC South football generates some barn burners in at least 4 contests a year. The hatred that consumes foes from all walks of life is something that must be embraced. And this contest emphasizes such an adversarial nature. Here we see something rarer than the lunar eclipse. An exhilarating Thursday night football game. I'm as shocked as you are. It appears that the NFL told both defenses to simply not do much of anything. They're allowed a play or two here or there, but we need peak NFC South football to commence. This is what the Falcons bait Kirk Cousins for. He's dissecting this defense as if they're a frog in a middle school science class. Tampa Bay's banged up on the defending 11. Kirk likes that. He likes that a lot. Nearly everyone in Atlanta's offense is eating tonight. Yes, even Kyle Pitts. Stats may be for losers, but the full power is being showcased. But Tampa Bay is going to keep this as tight as possible. Baker will bake and the Bucs will be opportunistic, despite their opposition's might. Sterling Shepard has scored a touchdown in 2024. That's how bonkers this game has been. Hell, Tampa Bay even has the lead in the fourth quarter. But Atlanta will be steadfast. And with Cousins at the helm, they'll keep going. Oh no, Darnell! You were having a great game, yet the Bears came back to you at the worst time. Of course the ensuing field goal try's blocked. Do you expect competency? All the Bucs have to do is clamp down and the game is theirs.
He has it. And the ball is out!
Soon enough, the only place we'll find Bucky Irving is on a milk carton. Fortunately, it doesn't hurt them. Their defense did a job and forced a crucial turnover on downs deep in Falcon territory. Now, as long as they don't completely fuck up the drive to the point of pushing them out of field goal range, Tampa Bay... Are you shitting me? You executed the worst case scenario? Do you understand who you're against? The man who's going to imprison you with ball and chains. It's over 400 yards of passing on the day. What did you expect? They're in field goal range. Hell, they'll take a delay of game penalty. The inevitable will still strike.
And overtime.
Young Wei Koo. Respect the goddamn name. We're headed to overtime and the Falcons get ball first. Too bad for Tampa Bay, the Falcons aren't into sharing. They're into stealing wins and escaping danger.
That's fired, that's caught, and that is Hodge! And Hodge is going to take it to the end zone!
Arthur Smith was right, and Darryl Hodge really did need his reps. Tampa Bay honestly deserved to lose. If you can't finish a fucking game when it's right in front of you, you fumble it like Bucky Irving. Stats are for losers? Well, Kirk just threw for over 500 yards and broke the Falcons' all-time record. He more than likes that. Oh, you awoke the beast. Beware, NFL. You're in trouble. The Falcons will continue their rise through the ranks. To overcome the horrible 28-3 curse, they must counter with an artifact that is stronger. That might be the riz of Kirk Cousins. It might be the offense itself. Just like last week, they were a machine. An all-encompassing weapon that can strike you down in ways inconceivable to the human mind. This might be the best unit they've featured since the Millennium Falcon. They keep getting 400-yard days while giving up no sacks, it works. Their might is unstoppable in Charlotte, and it leads to magnificent breakthroughs. They gave carries to Bijan near the goal line. I know, I'm as shocked as you are. Arthur Smith would have given those to Jonnu Smith for a 2-yard loss or some shit. Meanwhile, if you're Carolina, at least the Hurricanes are starting their season in Raleigh. They won't let you down until May, so head over there and be a victim of the Red Rifle. Still better than Bryce, though. The Falcons did what they needed to do. And while it was an easy opponent, they get their most convincing win of the season. Pathetic, yes, but sometimes you have to take what you can get. All that matters is the final record. Just another notch on the belt. Apparently, the way to get Seattle to play to full potential is to yell at them in a video. Where the hell has this been the last few weeks? A strong and balanced offensive attack? Geno returning to form? DK not grossly underachieving? The defense being opportunistic? Feels like I'm watching a different team. And it was sorely needed. The NFC West is ripe for the taking. And snapping out of a cold streak was just what the doctor ordered against a strong opponent. Then again, it is the Falcons. God damn it, Falcons. Can you please be consistent for like 5 minutes? You didn't just lose to a squad that was 4 for 11 on third down. You got crushed by them. Look at all these chances to come back. They're squandered endlessly. How the hell do you make the Seahawks defense look stout? They've been a mess for the last month. Every time I think Atlanta's finally turning the corner, the Falcons reinforce the old stereotype and curl up into a ball. Who needs winning when you can simply give the ball to the opponent ad nauseum? Seattle takes everything they receive and secure a much-needed win. But Atlanta gets the real prize. The long-awaited debut of Michael Penix. The Buccaneers are starting to buckle. Part of it's due to their own hastily crafted design, but a lot of things have gone awry. Baker Mayfield stands alone, and he has no receivers left to throw to. It's the Sterling Shepard show now. So he got predictably injured too. It's National Tight End Day, so welcome to the Otten Hour. There isn't much to be done since Atlanta's going to crush you under their boot like they did a few weeks ago. Kyle Pitts finally had a game worthy of his draft pedigree. As long as he narrowly escapes Deshaun Jacksoning the ball in the end zone. You might as well call Kirk Cousins a British consort because he loves sinking pirate ships. Buccaneer defense is falling to his arm one by one. If he could play them every week, the dude would make Tom Brady look like an amateur. This isn't to slight Baker Mayfield. He did everything he could to rally Tampa Bay back to life, but Atlanta was always one step ahead of their adversary. More importantly, the Falcons have tiebreaker by sweeping the season series. A division title is that much closer to reality. The Falcons look good so far. Don't fuck it up this year, boys. To best describe the Dallas Cowboys, think of Ezekiel Elliott. A shell of his former glory deactivated because he thinks himself above standard protocol. Jerry Boy wants to believe he's above everything as the league's shadow emperor? Then the result will be a hilarious drama-filled freefall into the pits of hell itself. Breaking news! Mike McCarthy's still an idiot. Faking a punt at his own 40 down by 1 score. Someone save this man from himself. Apparently you can't be flagged for pass interference on a fake punt. And apparently you can't be flagged for being exposed as a pretender yet again. Atlanta laid down the hammer and a big fat steamer on the Cowboys' ambitions. Those ambitions only made sense to about 3 people, but the Falcons get another game to pad their division lead. You could call it an all-in performance. ATL even had something resembling a pass rush today. Hey, if the Cowboys keep chopping their own legs off at every given opportunity, it'd be foolish not to take it. You thought it was just this loss, Dallas? You think Dak and CD are gonna save you? Well, they're hurt now. Dak for a few weeks. You are fucked with the largest of Fs. Don't worry though, Jerry Boy still believes in this roster and this staff. He had some of that fandangled reefer his players talked about and it opened his mind. He just needs to make a reference to Michael Irvin 30 years ago. Which is where Jerry imagines the Cowboys are right now. Fucking hate you, Atlanta. Can you give the slightest attempt at being normal? At any damn time? Please, I want to legitimize you as having a shot at doing something in January, yet you end up pulling this prank? New Orleans is dead. Not only down for the count, but still deluding themselves that the house isn't on fire and they're not burning alive. This should have been an outright slam dunk to further solidify the division lead. Yet New Orleans was always one step ahead with their best receiver being Marquez Valdez fucking Scantling. Endless opportunities to take advantage of a reeling defense and all they get out of it is a blocked field goal. Atlanta's defense clamped down in the second half. They're only down by 10. A team with their firepower should easily find a way to win, yet they don't. They don't come close. Endless failure and ineptitude. Doinked away like another field goal to tie. Repeated frustrations with everything within reach, yet they lob their own hands off with a guillotine and throw picks. One final chance to avoid embarrassment, and what do the Falcons do? They clog the fucking toilet on a 4th and 4. Darren Reese merely symbolized the constipation that their offense would have all game. And it cost them dearly here. The Saints, after endless blessings from the Pope, get a moral victory to stop the bleeding. Atlanta's rivals now have a chance to capitalize, especially those in red and black. I think the Broncos might be pissed about how last week ended for them. The Chiefs blocked their kick, they'll block anything Atlanta tries to throw in resistance. Did the Falcons even try to throw anything? This defense was absolutely atrocious. What's a pass rush? What is coverage? They were Charmin soft. And that might be a compliment. Denver wanted to beat up on someone and straight up took them behind the shit, pummeling them within an inch of their life. They can't beat Kansas City, but they'll do the next best thing and slaughter an entire aviary. Bo Nix is getting Denver more than addicted to hopium. With performances like that, it's justified. With consecutive losses, Atlanta's pissing away a chance to run away with the division. They infuriate me with no end. And it never changes. The Broncos didn't just ride, they trampled over them repeatedly. Get a shovel. It's the only way you're gonna pry the remains off the ground. I will never cease to be amazed at how the Falcons find the most unbelievable ways to lose football games. When young Waku's been infected with the same disease afflicting Justin Tucker, it'll be a long day at the office. In solidarity with Atlanta's history, it's due to their own hand. Their defense suffocated anything resembling a Charger attack. Sure, LA's without J.K. Dobbins, but the Falcons should be winning by at least 2 scores. Justin Herbert can't do it alone. They actually have a pass rush today. The division is being handed to them on a silver platter. Until you realize one thing. Liquid LA's defense is relentless. And their target is a philanderer of Cousins, terrorizing him for 4 interceptions. But that might be more on Kirk. What a disaster. He's telegraphing every move. Dude turned Tar Heap still into prime champ Bailey. The Charger offense doesn't even need to do anything when Kirk's near single-handedly giving them the game. Yes, Drake had a horrible drop as well. But it's time to take a long walk in the woods. Stay a little bit ahead of me, it's for the best. Kirk, just keep looking at the flowers, man. Don't turn around. Just tell me about the daisies and the rabbits. It's that time of the year again. When the playoffs start to peek into the picture and we discuss the scenarios at hand. The NFC's a bit tighter. The Motor City currently leads the pack, but Philly's hot on their tail. The division ranks are pretty safe otherwise. Seattle and Atlanta hold claim to some very weak conferences this year. That means Minnesota and Green Bay have the potential to feast if the cards fall right for them. Washington got off a cold streak and comfortably hold the final seed in the meantime. At 6-6, the Bucks, Cardinals, and Rams still have a shot, especially in their divisions. Meanwhile, San Francisco, Dallas, and New Orleans are clinging on for dear life. And I mean it. There's been a lot of disappointment for teams this season, but there's still a chance they remembered the rules.
Don't get eliminated!
Kirk Cousins returns to the land that made him Herschel Walker without giving up draft picks. Oh, how the crowd loves him in this performance. I'm not being ironic, they loved him in ways he didn't expect. There's a reason why many in the football world didn't shed tears when they let him go. Sam Darnold's performance is an intriguing side effect of such a decision. Part of me wonders if he bribed the Falcons secondary to take a dive. Good God, this defense is atrocious. What the hell is D. Alford doing? That long touchdown pass to Justin Jefferson? That shit that gets you benched in high school. Well, that's not to say that Darnold wasn't dominant. 5 touchdowns and just under 350 yards passing more than proved that. The same can't be said for Kirko. The chains now bind him into terrible play. In this 4-game stretch of fail, when the Falcons have absolutely needed him, he's thrown for no touchdowns and 8 picks. The worst of his career, and his future legacy when we're old and gray. Almost as if you inexplicably drafted a quarterback 8th overall for this scenario, but no, Cousins will still be starting. Any other chance at coming back will be undone by a kickoff return fumble. The Vikings not dancing through raindrops. They obliterated these fools and leave Detroit with little room for error. Making me eat my words from last week. Well done. 1 month left. Get your tickets to the postseason ready now or be left out in the cold. We know the drill by now. The NFC's road is still undecided. Detroit stays ahead with a crucial win over Green Bay, but Philly and Minnesota are still hot on their tail. Thanks to Atlanta's catastrophic implosion, Tampa Bay has reasserted itself for the NFC South lead. The Seahawks still remain on top of the NFC West, but things could be getting shaky there with a loss on Thursday. A bye week for Washington maintains their 7th seed, yet rivals remain. The Rams and Niners won in. There's a chance the Falcons could get their shit together. Arizona could make miracles happen. Probably not, but you aren't out of the dance until you hear the dreaded words told to a few teams already. You know them by heart.
Don't get eliminated!
Here's a riddle for those of you still watching. If there are 2 games on a Monday night and both of them are terrible, does that make it a benefit or detriment to us watching? The Raiders alone will make this root canal levels of painful. Desmond Ridder, Tank Commander reporting for duty. That means there will be no offensive production to speak of. With how god-awful and injury-ravaged Las Vegas is, it's an automatic win for the Falcons, ending an aggravatingly bad choke fest of a month. That doesn't mean they played well. Quite on the contrary. I was worried about being unable to do my laundry, but then Mom told me she put it on the Kirk Cousins cycle. I knew they were washed. His torn Achilles recovery is going as well as DeMarcus Cousins is. Terribly. Atlanta's offense has become completely predictable thanks to Kirk's physical limitations. They can only run the ball to one side with him under center. The passing attack's been neutered. Cousins got outplayed by Desmond fucking Ridder. That's grounds for serious alarm. But it's not like they have a first-round pick on the bench or anything, so it's all good. The fact that this game even came down to a Hail Mary is damning all its own. If the Falcons' defense and special teams didn't have the fortune of facing a blatant tank, this would have been yet another humiliating defeat. I've seen high schools have better offenses than what was shown. What a waste of time. Just watch Atlanta do the same shit against the Giants next week. Even if you have no experience watching NFL football, you'd know that something's wrong with Kirk Cousins. I'm honestly surprised Atlanta didn't pull the plug a few weeks earlier, but he's become Boxer from Animal Farm. His body can't go any further. It's okay, Mr. Cousins. They're gonna take you to a place deserving of your illustrious career. One where you can tend the rabbits. Tell me about the rabbits, Kirk. Atlanta had no choice. They had an 8th overall pick sitting on the bench, and Kirko's as cooked as a hockey puck. His play may have cost them a playoff spot. And who the hell knows how Michael Penix is going to do, but we need to remember Cousins' wonderful legacy. Generational bag securer. The greatest one to pass down to your children. 3 games remain. This week was critical in deciphering the playoff formulas, but it doesn't mean that we're anywhere close to a solution. The number 1 seed in the NFC is now a 3-way tie. The Lions still have control, but the Eagles and Vikings are hot on their tail and coming fast. Philly can also claim the NFC East with a win or Washington loss, but the Eagles aren't going to implode, right? The NFC North is a mosh pit, made even more so by the attrition on Detroit. Minnesota or Green Bay could easily take it. But the NFC South is Tampa's to lose. Hopefully they won't choke it away like Atlanta did. The NFC West is between Seattle and the Rams, with the Cards and Niners on life support. This division probably gets settled with a Week 18 showdown. The wild cards are all but set and can be officially claimed if Green Bay wins and Washington wins and gets help. The NFC especially is going to be a ride moving forward. Get ready. These words are going to come in handy.
Don't get eliminated!
Penix era will stand firm and erect in his debut. Immature and of poor taste? Same goes for the Giants. They're on a holy crusade in the name of suckitude. An embodiment of everything resembling a spiraling homeless alcoholic spewing gibberish on the street corner. The perfect starting point for a young QB. Get his feet wet in the kiddie pool, then let him slowly wade into open water. Nothing's gonna bite Michael here. The G-men are more content with punching themselves in confusion ad nauseum. Personally, I'm just glad only one team was a shit show today. Atlanta won this more than easily. And it's despite Kyle Pitts shoveling the ball right to a defender's arms. Too little too late for them? Maybe, but it's still a lot better than the garbage we saw with Cousins. Enjoy eating his contract in the offseason. You can dangle it in front of John Mara and tell him it's the ghost of Eli. The time has come to crunch. We're nearing the finish line. And there's still plenty of positions at the round table to play for. The NFC East is still in play after Philly's shocking upset at the hands of commies, but they aren't gonna blow this, right? But the NFC North and number 1 seed are intertwined. Lions and Vikings battling it out in the Great War of Life. Take a guess who plays one another in Week 18. This is where both are probably going to be decided. A curveball's been thrown into the NFC South. Tampa's loss and Atlanta's win make it all but a coin flip. But the Falcons have tiebreakers, so the Bucs are going to need help. LA now has firm control over the NFC West, especially since they have tiebreaker. They're going to need to lose twice and the Seahawks win twice for Seattle to make it. They do play in Week 18, though. Washington's pretty much got the last NFC wildcard spot, so the options are dwindling. Don't be left out in the cold, NFL world, lest you suffer the greatest humiliation.
Don't get eliminated!
The duel of duels. Both teams begging for the taste of playoff glory once again, and the only way to it is through one another. When rookie QBs face off, there will be some mistakes, but it's a fun match to watch either way. The spirit of the fight is lively, and the Falcons know the stakes. The 10-point lead at halftime, they have the chance to put them away. You know the answer to this question by now. Washington, under the newfound power of Jaden Daniels, storms back with consecutive touchdown drives. The Falcons' defense that was besting them suddenly can't make a stop. With the commies controlling a 7-point advantage, it's panic time for Atlanta. But this is Michael Penix's time to rise. A fine drive finding his talented skill position players, he gets them to the goal line just for the center to botch a snap to Bijan. Wait, skip that part. Michael Penix gets them to the end zone with the unlikeliest of heroes. Kyle Pitts can catch touchdowns? Insanity. This untold blessing grants them a Washington 3-and-out. The Dirty Bird has a chance to put it on ice. But incompetence happens. Raheem, you dumbass, you had 2 timeouts. Use one of them. They won't bite. No wonder why you got fired from Tampa Bay. The fringe is a field goal ranger as far as you'll go.
Riley Patterson has it on the way. It's online. Is it long enough? No! Short! And the game goes on!
And you don't have Youngway. Like our aspirations rarely came up just short in overtime is the so-called reward. Unfortunately for you, Washington doesn't feel like giving up the ball. Cringe all you want, but Jaden Daniels is gonna make sure that you're buried alive.
It is Jaden Daniels end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. Zach Ertz takes Washington into the playoffs.
The Dan Quinn revenge game. A tale as old as time. If I'm a Bucs fan, I'm sending everything I have to Washington post-haste. The Commies seizing the win from Atlanta's choking hands has all but granted them the division. This week settled a lot of questions, particularly with seeding in the AFC. The contestants have dwindled to a few, but there are a couple of spots up for grabs. On the other side, the NFC number 1 seed and the NFC North are tied up in a Week 18 contest. Vikings against Lions. Winner take all. Loser doomed to a wildcard spot. All or nothing, the best way to go. Meanwhile, the NFC South has been all but assured for Tampa Bay after last week's revelations. However, it's not fully secure. A loss to the Saints combined with the Falcons win gives it to Atlanta. Oh, what a time it is to be a fan. The stakes are higher than ever. And there are 3 words that echo throughout time and space.
Don't get eliminated!
Another major battleground is the NFC South. 2 teams fight for its bounty, but Atlanta's gonna need some help in this regard. They're gonna need it from New Orleans of all teams. Good luck with that. It's been an awful stretch. 2-game advantage over the Bucs with tiebreaker, and you've choked enough to be in this situation? So not only do you have to pray that Spencer Rattler can keep it up, the Panthers are more than eager to play spoiler. The only thing this game is going to be is a proving ground for Bryce Young. It's a night and day difference from his disastrous form at the start of the year. All Carolina had to do was give him a factory reset and he's good to go. Do you remember what Sam Darnold did to this defense? Bryce is doing the same shit here. It'd be awful nice if the Falcons had a pass rush. If only they didn't ogle at every skill position player imaginable. The national media thinks Terry Fontenot is a genius for what he did. It was managerial malpractice. The Panthers' defense is the worst in football in most statistical metrics, but it means nothing if Atlanta's D can do nothing but bow down in the wake of Bryce. This is an offensive fire show. Bryce and company against Penix and Bijan. Strength against strength. And Carolina's eager to generate momentum going into next year. They're doing a good job of it so far. A college barn burner Big 12 style. And I think those teams could play better defense. This is going to take overtime to solve. Knowing this game, it's going to whomever gets the ball first. Lucky you, it's Carolina. No pass rush for Atlanta, no ability to defend Young. The game's already lost. Bow the fuck out. Another year of failure to add on to the pile. Bryce has a signature moment in his often maligned career and has been given new life. The Falcons only suffer inevitable death. This organization somehow still hasn't recovered from 28-3.
Miss.
Someone should just post a picture of me with a fell for it again, Wojak. You think I'd learn to accept the Falcons only exist for choking in every situation, but that's too on the nose for my intuition. Franchise equivalent of Kyle Pitts. He could be really good, but just underachieves. I figured the QB situation couldn't get worse than it did last year. That was before Kirko revealed he was a shell of his former self. Flashes in the early game, but then his flaws were exposed. Like being unable to plan on his formerly injured leg. Or not telegraphing every damn throw he makes. Being so bad that he was Lenny did an open field out of pity. While burning $100 million in the process. Michael Penix can learn a thing or two about generational bag securing from him. Or perhaps not choking away a multi-game divisional lead with tiebreaker over Tampa Bay. The media's gonna call Terry Fontenot a genius for picking Penix after signing Cousins, but it was managerial malpractice. Could have used the Cousins' money for Hunter or Van Ginkel. Did you notice how non-existent their pass rush was for most of the year? No wonder why most offenses feasted on them for weeks on end. Jimmy Lake was a token sacrifice. Knowing the Falcons, they'll ignore pressing needs on defense for either Emeka Egbuka or Tyler Warren. I hope to God I'm wrong, but they did draft Penix out of the blue.